Welcome to episode 4 of the Honda GROM clone boom VADER build series thing. And today there's a couple things we need to focus on. The wiring for the meter, which God knows how I'm going to do that. Securing the taillight, redirecting the air filter to where it does not impact the fork, or rather the fork does not impact it. And probably a few other housekeeping things, cosmetics here and there. My first thought on the air filter relocation is I would like it to come around and be up here. But the fork does impact it when you turn more than, I would say, 50% of your right turn max angle. And so if I can get some sort of like radiator hose or something to curve around and make a mount for it up here, I don't believe there's anything else that gets in the way. I'm just going to mount up this bracket real quick that holds the plastics on and see what I have to work with. I think the way that I'm going to try to accomplish this is to have a radiator hose that is pre-bent. I'll go to AutoZone and see if I can find something that matches that outer diameter. And then I will get a piece of PVC or some equivalent pipe that fits the inner diameter of this and the hose, and then mate that together. I think that's going to be the move. All right, so as far as the air filter goes, I did make a trip to Napa, and you may notice this pretty big monstrosity. This is actually my second shot now. The first time I went to AutoZone and got one of those flexible straight hoses that you can just bend in any shape, or so I thought. And those are actually very shitty. So I took it back. They didn't really have anything that I thought would work. So I went to Napa and I found this. The part number is 8852 or 8825. Have no idea what it goes to. Don't really care. But I think this will work if I cut like right here. I think it can work. The problem is if I cut it and it doesn't work, then this is $30 straight down the drain. So I guess I'm gonna cut it. I mean, I don't really I think that would be fine. I may even cut this part off and have the filter under and just come out back here. I could also alternatively have it go on the other side somehow, but I think I'm going to find a way to make this work because I'm really tired of going to the auto parts store. This is the diameter that I need, and I'm just going to suck it up and cut it and take the loss if I'm wrong. So I think that idea is valid. I'm going to have to do something to bend it this way. I'll probably end up chopping this off and having the air filter stick up here. That's fine. I don't have an issue with that. There's plenty of empty space up here for it to stick. I don't know what kind of issues I'm going to run into with that restriction. I don't know if that's going to cause it to pop off at some point. Probably. But I'm going to zip tie it here for the time being and see what happens. So bear with me. I'm going to try to get this figured out. I can hear the questions already. Michael, what the fuck is that? Honestly and truthfully, I just couldn't find anything better, and I thought it was funny. I went to find a piece of PVC pipe that would fit, and I took this air filter with me so I could check it. And I swear to you, I was not able to find anything that fit. There was one that was like really, really close, and I can't remember the measurement on it. It was really close, but it was too big. It was just a bit too big, and I could not fit the air filter around it. It was close, but it was not close enough. So this thing, I don't know why it was thicker than the other stuff. I guess because it is a joint, but I looked at the other joints and nothing fit. This was the only thing in True Value that I found that would fit it. I'm not bullshitting. I promise. I tried for like half an hour, and that's about as much as I want to spend in any store. So I ended up getting this. So if you're wondering, why did I do that? That's why. Necessity. And from what it looked like on the mock-up, the fairing should fit over this. So let me find some hose clamps, and I think this is our winner. I do believe this will work. I'm going to have to see how it runs with this kink in here. I have kind of a plan. Worst case scenario, I can put that other hose clamp on here and kind of squish it in so that it puffs out a little bit, but I don't know if I necessarily have to yet. Whew. Had to pump up the tires a little bit because these tires don't hold air. Oh, the brake feels so much better now. I bent that lever back. Alright, it reaches a certain point, it really doesn't want to accelerate, which may have something to do with this air duct system. I can't pop a wheelie, dude, it won't rev up high enough. Please, no sheriff. I do have a license plate on, but and we're fucked. It's time to go home. I try to be a good boy, but I don't know if this thing is even worth registering yet, or if I'm even going to keep it, or how long I'm going to keep it, I should say. Alright, so the VADER looks a little bit different than last time. I was actually working out here and just wasn't recording, but I was able to put the plastics back on, and more importantly, what I ended up doing, and the good thing is you can still see this part, is I cut that hose because it was pretty restrictive. So what I ended up doing is I had this old exhaust pipe that exploded. This old exhaust pipe exploded at one point. This is off of a 2003 YZ450. It's a first year 450. And I ended up cutting some sections off of the end of this exhaust pipe, and that was about the perfect size to fit in there so that I could clamp two sections together. I used some exhaust clamps from my CB750, or my CB1100 I should say, and I'll probably rotate those around so it doesn't look so bad, but this way it's not kinked and it's pretty rigid, and so it flows all the way back up into there. The plastics are not perfect, nor will they ever be, because half of the mounting tabs are busted all to shit. But the air filter is nice and tucked up back there and protected, and it should have way less obstruction in the airflow now. All the plastics are mounted and they are secure, even if they are a tiny bit loose. There is at least one legitimate bolt or screw on either side holding it on, and the rest is zip ties. So, all strategic, of course. I also took some of the tape that was on here off with some 3M adhesive remover, and so now it actually looks more like an actual motorcycle. The only other real thing that I have to do is the meter and tires. Tires are more important because they just keep losing air. As much as I really like these white walls, probably just gonna end up getting whatever's cheapest, not because I don't really care, but because when it comes to a bike this small, if you're not doing Gymkhana with it or something like that, then you really don't need a super sticky tire. I'm not going to be dragging me on this thing. I'm going to be doing some wheelies at most, and then maybe commuting a little bit, or just selling it one way or another, and probably going to get some Kendos or whatever. Shinkos is what's on there now. Kendos, I think, are a little bit better, in my opinion, in my personal experience, than Shinkos. But regardless, this is what we have got going on currently. I'm not going to test ride it today. Tomorrow is actually supposed to be 55 degrees, so I'm going to test ride it tomorrow and hopefully do some actual wheelies on it. We'll just have to see, because I think the reason I couldn't last time was it was just so restricted that I couldn't get up into the upper half of the RPM range. In the meantime, I'll probably try to work on the meter a little bit more today. I have an idea, but I'm just not too sure. I'm not trained very much on electrical, but we'll just have to see what happens. But other than that, it seems to be riding pretty good. I'll probably adjust the chain again. I did lube it. I'm probably going to adjust it again because it seems like it loosened back up, which is exactly what I expected, which is why I did it a little bit tight. I'm going to check some things around the bike, and then hopefully we should be almost wrapped up with it.